Hi there, it's Joan Kosmachuk, your seasonal color, style, and confidence coach. With this live because I've got a very special guest who I'm bringing on, the lovely Katherine Moffatt, who is a jewelry designer. And Katherine,
Ah,
you made it!
I made it. Yay.
So this is a pretty exciting day because this is Catherine's first IG Live. So we
Yes.
are really welcoming her today, and the rest of you who are joining. This is wonderful to see so many on. My gosh, there's Denise and Cheryl, and oh, I can't even keep up with all of these. Kay, yeah, there's lots of folks joining, so that's really great. And Catherine, I know they're all here to hear you because we this is a topic of great interest to many of us is,
Oh,
how
wonderful.
to choose jewelry that is visually harmonious with ourselves.
Yes.
But I want our guests to get to know you a little bit before we dive in. And so, Catherine, maybe you can just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're located, and because right now it looks like a very interesting background there.
This is my studio here. It is just filled to the brim with drawers and drawers and drawers of finished jewelry, jewelry in the process, gemstones, antique goodies and treasures. Here's what I'm working on now. I've got little antique match safes, and here's a little carving that's going to become something fabulous. Check out this wonderful rose that's going to become something wonderful. Look at the carving on that. Is that outstanding?
Gorgeous, beautiful.
Um, I got started. This is a little purse. I don't know what it's going to become, but somebody's going to get something fabulous made out of that. Uh, I am in Studio City, California. It's just north of Los Angeles. I'm right by Universal Studios, if you've ever been there.
Yeah.
I was an actress for 30 years and loved it. I was always the star's girlfriend or the next door neighbor or I played Gopher's girlfriend on Love Boat. Yeah. Boy, that was special.
Yeah.
Fred Grandy kisses like a Labrador. I'm not supposed to say that. But I retired from that industry and became what I actually really wanted to be, which was a designer. And I had injured my spine and I had spent every minute I could traveling. I can't resist flea markets, can't resist antique shops, auctions. And I had collected these. I mean, this was what I loved was all these little antique bits and things that everybody says, what are you going to do with that? So I started making jewelry out of them. One thing led to another. People became interested, and it has turned into this business that I've been doing now for 25 years. And I just love it because it allows me to be this hunter-gatherer person that I am. And people are always like, why do you want that? And then, I make something out of it, and they're like, I never would have thought of that. And I'm like, I did. And so I have a lot of fun with it.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah,
And
it's wonderful when you get to do what you love for a living.
right, and you also make bespoke jewelry, right? Like,
Yes.
so you create pieces that just are out of your heart and that you love, and you put those up for someone to fall in love with. But tell me
Mhm.
a little bit about the work that you do in creating bespoke jewelry.
Well, what I do is my specialty is working with facial geometry. And so when I look at you, you're being looked at like you've never been looked at before because I specialize in facial geometry, which means the shapes that your face is made up of. Have you ever gone shopping with a girlfriend and you and she both try on the same thing and it looks great on you or great on her and the other one, not so much? Or
Hmm.
you buy something in a store and the girls in the store are all going, oh, it looks so wonderful on you and it's on sale. And you spend some stupid amount of money, you get it home and you put it on and it's like, no, and you never wear it. You've just
Hmm.
wasted that money. Why? Because it doesn't work on you. So I work in facial geometry to make sure what you invest your money in works on your face. Maybe not your girlfriend's face, maybe not your other friend's face, on your face using your geometry. So not only, I mean, all your life you've been told, oh, you have such a sweet round face or square face or heart face. Well, it goes much deeper than that. Your face, when you're just sitting, you have one shaped face, right? Well, if you're an animated person like I am, look at all these other shapes that are going on. You have your orbital bone, you have your nose, you have your mouth, there's your chin across here. There's all these different shapes. When you smile and you talk and you turn and you move, those shapes change. So there's shapes within shapes. So when I create something for you, I take all of those shapes in consideration. And
And that's
so,
that's what I love about you because
yeah.
you've got this deeper understanding. I'm always talking to my clients about the power of creating visual harmony between
Mhm.
yourself and your clothing and your accessories.
Yes.
And this is exactly what we're talking about today is using
Mhm.
the beautiful face that you've been given and all of the
Yes.
shapes within it,
Yes.
to choose your jewelry that is going to more readily draw attention to you, right?
Absolutely. When you mirror what's already there,
Yes,
it magnifies it. So you want to repeat shapes. And so
yes.
when your jewelry repeats it, it magnifies your beauty.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love and share your
Mhm.
philosophy, and it's this incredible connection that we have with everything that we put on. Think
Mhm.
that we wear things, right? And we all have to wear
Mhm.
things, but to wear those things that really reflect us, that's where the power comes.
Mhm.
Where people, and I think you've said this, you have a philosophy around when people come into the room, do you want them to see, oh, there's Catherine's jewelry or what?
Absolutely. If you were to walk in the room, say you're entering the Academy Awards and they go, oh, look at that necklace. I have failed. I have failed. I have absolutely failed because what I want them to do is say, oh, look at Joan. She looks amazing. Joan, look, Joan's here. Joan's here. And maybe a little later on, they'll say, Joan, what a great necklace. Then
Mm,
I have succeeded because my job, you are the artwork. You are the artwork. I merely build the frame. I'm here to set you off, not the other way around. And that's probably the biggest difference between me and other jewelers. I'm not here, it's not about making my jewelry, how am I'm not saying this right at all.
mm,
Um, my jewelry will take care of itself. It's fine. I want to set off you. You are what's
right.
important. And so that's what I do. I honestly think, well, think of it this way. If you took the Mona Lisa and a Mondrian painting,
Mm-hmm.
and you switched the frames, the Mondrian is in a simple black frame with a big white border. The Mona Lisa is in this huge Renaissance gold Baroque frame. Switch the frames. What's going to happen? You're going to go, that's not right.
Mm,
That's not right at all. So now we take people, put the right frame on them, and they work, they settle, they're congruent, they are complete, it works. They are exactly who they are. Doesn't mean they aren't both beautiful, but you need to be your beauty, not someone else's.
amen to that. That's really just you're talking my language, girl.
But it's true. And I think that we've
Yeah,
been given this, 5-second bites over and over and over again, that there's only one kind of beauty and it's whatever is in fashion for the last 5 seconds.
yeah,
And that's not fair, especially to those of us that aren't, you know, 10 minutes old.
right. Now, you and I can talk about this philosophy because we really have studied it, we
Yeah.
understand it. But
Hmm.
for the audience, um, let's take just something simple like earrings,
Yes.
because I think a lot of my clients wear earrings.
Hmm.
How do you go about choosing an earring that works with your face? I mean, how does the person do that? Because it sounds like, oh yeah, that would be a wonderful idea, but like, how do you actually make that selection and know what you're doing?
Well, the first thing you do with an earring is you look at the overall shape of your face. Are you vertical, meaning you're long and narrow? Are you horizontal? Are you both? I am a little bit of both in that from this area, I have some length, but across the eyes, I'm wide. I'm a little narrower here. So, but primarily, I am horizontal. So I have to make sure my earrings are not too skinny.
Mm,
So these earrings, you can see, I don't know if you can see what I'm wearing. They're a little here. If I put my hand behind them, you can see them a little better.
yeah.
It's a coin, an antique coin from Rome that I found in my backyard. Had them
Wow.
recast. Yeah, I'm a criminal. You're supposed to turn all that stuff into the government. I didn't know I brought it home. Shh, don't tell anyone. And then these are African trade bead hoops, and they're really, really special. But this is the kind of stuff that I do, so it's very cool. Now, you'll notice on these, the length is no longer than my nose.
Okay.
So that's one thing. You don't want to go longer than that unless you're making a specific fashion statement. You know, there's something called a shoulder duster. And if
Okay.
you're wearing a shoulder duster, don't wear anything else because that's about a fashion statement. And they're going to say, look at those earrings.
Right.
Who's under them? You know, be prepared. Your earrings are going to get more attention than you are. Be prepared for that. But this is how you still keep yourself wearing the earrings instead of the earrings wearing you. You can add width. A lot of people have a second who wear a second earring. That's what I do.
Right.
I wear a second earring. I've got the length, which is here, and I add a second little hoop, just a classic hoop. But you can also wear, I have added width to my length by adding a wider piece at the bottom. So
Okay.
one of the things you do, I can wear an oval shaped earring. A
Mhm.
round shape earring is too much on me because I'm not round.
Right.
Uh, a square shaped earring does not work on me. Do you see any squares on me?
No, we do not.
Now, an exercise I like to have my clients do, and they think I'm absolutely nuts, is draw their face while they're looking in the mirror. And they're always hilarious because they look like, you know, a 3-year-old drew it. But it's to get these basic shapes so that you can see your face accurately. Nobody sees their own face accurately. We see what we want to see, or we see what we've been told to see. And
Yeah, a
so
lot of
to
conditioning goes into what we see because often we're not even looking at what's there, we're looking at what we think is not there.
absolutely, I was told my whole life, oh, you have such a cute round face.
Hmm.
You know, this is what I got my whole life. And my teacher has been Jennifer Butler, and she's been marvelous, and I just love her dearly. And she finally said, no, you have an oval face. And I'm like, when did that happen? My whole life, I was a model, I was an actress. I've been all over the world with people photographing my face, my little round face that wasn't round at all. I had no idea.
Hmm.
So people need to learn how to look at their own face. So the earrings, that's a little takeaway for you. Your nose.
Right. That's great. Now, how does the season play into that? Because
The
we
seasons.
have not just the shapes,
Mhm.
which, are very important, but also our season.
Now you're talking about the seasonal dressing.
Yes.
Um, the seasons, when you get your colors done, and if any of you haven't had your colors done, I couldn't recommend it more highly. It will simplify your life. Holy cow. Um, I get dressed in about 3 minutes. Honestly, I can get dressed with my eyes shut. Just boom, any occasion. When I travel, one bag, that's it. I have saved a fortune by having my colors done. And Joan, you're brilliant at doing that. It's terrific. Um, the seasons, winter. They can go dramatic, they can go simple. So their weight can be either extremely lightweight or a lot of weight, depending on the drama within the woman. Now you need to look at, or
Right.
man, you
And we
need
have
to,
exotic winters
and
too, right?
exotic
So,
winters, yes, it depends on where in the season they are. Remember, every person is different,
yes.
even within the scale of their season. So you have to know, I mean, I am very, very blessed in that Jennifer spent a lot of time teaching me specifics within the seasons and all of the seasons, mostly because I pestered the heck out of her to do that. I am a dog with a bone. When I want to know something, you're going to teach me. Um, and so a winter, um, elegant. It has to be elegant. It has to have an assuredness. It has to have a discernment. It has to have, um, whether it's with jeans or cashmere, it has to have exquisiteness.
Yes, that's a great word.
Exquisiteness.
Yes,
You know,
great word.
that's
Mhm.
what a winter is. Now, a winter is a person with high contrast between hair and skin. And they
Or
tend to,
some are medium contrast, but
summer, yes,
they tend to be,
exactly.
yes. Yeah,
Exactly. I'm just generalizing.
yeah.
Then you get into spring, which is what you are. And look at your wonderful energy, a buoyancy, a joy. And you can wear such wonderful, vivid colors and also dark colors. You know, people think spring is, oh, pink and yellow and blue. It's not. They can be very, very rich colors. I have a lot of fun with springs. One of my favorite spring clients during COVID, I couldn't get out to gemstones and I couldn't get out to my dealers, and Michael's Crafts was open. So I went in there, and their beads are not what I'm used to. I'm so spoiled. I was attracted to their children's sandbox toys, and so I made a necklace out of plastic dinosaurs. And the only person in the world that could wear it was this spring, and she rocks it like no one's business. And I have had more demand for these silly necklaces made out of plastic cowboys and plastic, I mean, stuff like that. A spring can wear diamonds and gold and elegance, but it has to have a sense of adventure.
Mhm.
It has to have a sense of intelligent fun. There's the springs aren't given enough credit for how smart they are. And I love that about them, that they can walk into a room with a plastic dinosaur and run that room and have a fun time doing it. Summers, romantic, a softness, a genteelness. I tend to put them, they have a rosiness to their skin in general. This is very general.
Mhm.
Um, Lightweight, um, but they can wear a lot of complexity. They tend to have some texture to them. Now, texture is very important, and texture can be a result of animation.
Mm.
But summers don't tend to have as much animation. They tend to have kind of think curled hair, um, maybe freckles, maybe just they've got kind of a languidness about them.
Yes,
They're
gentleness.
someone you could sit down and talk the entire day with and pour your heart out to. Absolutely your best friend. Your best friend. And autumns, that's me. You want something done, get an autumn to do it. You may not like them while they're doing it, but it's going to get done. And I have a spring temperament, which means I'm going to get it done and we're going to have a great time doing it. But yeah, I will. In autumn, we go for a lot of texture. We can carry a lot of weight. My motto is, if I can still hold my head up, I'm not wearing enough jewelry, because I will. I mean, I don't know if you can see what I have on today. This
Yeah,
is nothing.
beautiful.
This is nothing for me. I've got on my autumn leaves. Here's amber. I love amber. If you can see that one.
Hmm.
Um, and I just, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. Fortunately, I think jewelry is so fun, and you know, I just it's great. It's great. I am so blessed that I get to work with the most fantastic people, and my clients. I've yet to have one I haven't had a good time with. So,
That's
this,
awesome. So we've talked about your studio being in
yeah,
LA,
yes,
and I know you do some live shows at
yes.
times where, or you participate in different fairs and things.
Hmm.
So if you're not already following Catherine on IG, because she's new to the channel, you'll want
Yeah,
to follow her so that you can get notifications about those events if you're living in the area. But you also work for people remotely, right?
I do.
And so if someone was wanting to create a beautiful, bespoke piece of jewelry for them, say a necklace, an earring, a bracelet,
Hmm.
what would be the process for them to get in touch with you?
You would contact me via email, and that information. How do we give you that information? I guess
We'll put
we'll put
it
it up on my
in the
in the
comments. Yeah.
comments. Okay. And then what we do, if you're not in the Los Angeles area, actually, if you are in the Los Angeles area, generally my first meeting with all clients is via Zoom. And what we'll do is we'll get to know each other. I need to know your energy because that's the first area where we start so that I know what season you are. We get to talk. I get to know what it is you need, what it is you want, and I can show you a few things that are already done. You might like something from there. I can show you stones. We can look at colors. If you've got your palette, then you will email me your palette, some photographs of yourself so I can do some work on the geometry on your face so that I know exactly what shape stones to look for, what shape metals to look for, which metals to look for. We get to know each other. And then we start actually creating a piece. You'll tell me a little bit about your lifestyle. You'll tell me a little bit about if this is for a special event. Say you're going on a trip, say you have a business event coming up or a wedding, or you need something to wear to the grocery store, whatever it is. Um, then we work together. This is very much, a together thing that we do. And
Collaboration. I love
it's a
that.
collaboration. And then if you're in Los Angeles, generally, if you come to my studio, because my studio is in my home, I request a referral. Um, and then, but I do live shows. I'll be in November, I'll be in the Pasadena area at the Artisan show there. When are we going to be up in San Francisco? That's in October. So we'll be up in San Francisco then. There'll be, if you work with Jennifer Butler, I'm always available through her. And then other stylists, I'm sure will be referring me. I hope. I hope. I hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And of course, I'm available through galleries and whatnot that way. And those I'll be putting up on my site as well. And keep your eyes open on my site because I do put up pictures every few days and let you know which ones are available and which ones are for inspiration.
Okay.
So you
And
can do it
so
that way.
if I was not able to come to your studio, then you'd be working on a piece and kind of getting feedback from me. We'd be doing some, I guess,
Absolutely.
emailing, zooming back and forth until you and I were satisfied with this
Absolutely.
creation, and then
Absolutely.
the treasure would come in the mail.
Yes. I ship it to you. It's fully insured, the whole 9 yards. And I have never had a client return a piece. And I've created pieces I did a piece for an Incan medicine woman in Peru.
Wow.
I have done a piece for a woman in New Zealand. I've done many pieces in Europe. So I'm all around the world
Wow.
now. And of
That's
course, all
awesome.
around this country. And so it's just been a wonderful experience. And I have to say, my favorite part are these clients are just fabulous, absolutely fabulous, really interesting people.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank every one of you who have joined us today, and especially I want to thank Catherine
Oh,
for giving us all this wonderful information. We're going to give you a little bit of homework. You can use Catherine's method, which is take a white
take a dry
what,
erase
dry
marker,
erase, yeah,
and you can do it on your
marker.
bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And trace the outline of
The
your face, but also your
outline of your
features, right?
face,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's easier if you shut one eye. Otherwise, you wind up with like, you look very Picasso. So shut one eye and you'll notice shapes and think of it as just primary shapes. You're not trying to create artwork here. Um, and then you'll start to see a consistency in your own face. And if you do it with friends, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And you
Sounds
can
good.
also have your friend draw you and you draw your friend. And that's also a very good way to do it, to start getting a realistic view of what your shapes are.
That's great. And don't forget Catherine's little tip that your earrings should not be longer than your nose. It's
Mhm.
okay if it's a bit shorter, but not longer than your
Right,
nose, right?
right,
And
right.
if you have some
Mhm.
round shapes, you can use round ones.
If you have a
um,
round shape here, you have a wonderful round
yeah,
cheekbone.
yeah.
You can
And
have a round orbital bone, hoops. They face forwards, so they're actually length.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's just kind of fun homework for you to do. And yeah, we hope that you discover some new things that today was helpful for you. And I would encourage you, if you want a beautiful bespoke piece of jewelry, to give Catherine a shout out, give her a little email. You can even ask in the comments for more contact information, and she'll get in touch with you. So thank you so much, Catherine,
Oh,
for
Joan,
being
thank
with
you.
me today. We'll have to have you back because I know we've just skimmed the surface of all the wonderful things that you could teach us about creating visual harmony between ourselves and our jewelry.
Well, thank
So
you, Joan.
thanks.
I'll look forward to that.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye, everyone.